Hello everyone, my name is Ishan Jolly. I'm a Twitch streamer and voice actor, and welcome to this comparison video between the Neumann U87 Ai and the Neumann TLM 103. So, here we go. So what I'll be doing is I will just be talking into both microphones standardly in a spoken word sort of format. So there we go. I will just I'll pull up some documents. I'll read out the Neumann website for each one of these microphones, and then we can just compare them, right? So okay, let's read a paragraph from the U87 Ai. The gold standard, the Neumann U87 Ai is probably the best known and most frequently used studio microphone the world over. Its smooth and refined sound is iconic as its elegant exterior design. The U87 Ai is the standard microphone for speech and vocals. 3 polar patterns plus pad and low-cut options make it adaptable for a wide range of applications. And now for the TLM 103. A modern classic, the TLM 103 has quickly become one of the biggest successes in Neumann's history. Its pristine, clear sound is a modern update on the classic U87. The TLM 103 is a transformless cardioid microphone with a gentle presence boost for a stunningly direct sound with breathtaking definition and ultra-low noise. Okay, simple paragraphs from either microphone. Now, let's just do a monologue. Simple monologue. Once more, unto the breach, dear friends. Once more. Or close the wall up with our English dead in peace. There's nothing so becomes a man as modest stillness and humility. But when the blast of war blows in our ears and imitate the action of the tiger, stiffen the sinews, summon up the blood, disguise fair nature with hard favoured rage, then lend the eye a terrible aspect, let pry through the portage of the head, like the brass cannon of the brow, o'erwhelmed as fearfully as doth the gold rock, o'erhang and shut his confounded base, swilled with the wild and wasteful ocean. Now set the teeth and stretch the nostril wide, hold hard the breath and bend up every spirit to its full height. On, you noblest English, whose blood is fet, from fathers of war proof. Fathers, like that of so many Alexanders of these parts, from morn till even fought, and sheathe their swords for lack of arguments. Dishonour not your mothers now attest, that those whom you call fathers did beget you. Be copied now to men of grosser blood, and teach them how to war. And you, good human, whose limbs were made in England, show us here the metal of your passion, let us swear that you are worth your breeding, which I doubt not, for there are none of you so mean and base that hath not noble lust in your eyes. I see you stand there like greyhounds in the slip, straining upon the start. The game's afoot. Follow your spirit, and upon this charge cry, God for Harry, England, and St. George. Now, I'm just going to read out a nice, pleasant story that's nice and sort of relaxed and calming. Let's go. It was the year 1975 when Charlotte von Sledven, a 19-year-old student of a Swedish royal family, traveled to India to get a portrait made by a gifted artist. The artist was born into a poor Indian family of the lowest caste, also known as the Untouchables. Despite the incredibly difficult circumstances, the artist, named Pradyumna Kumar Maharandya, had gained an outstanding reputation for being a gifted painter. His reputation led Charlotte to travel all the way to India to get her portrait done. By the time the portrait was finished, the two had fallen in love. Pradyumna was fascinated with Charlotte's beauty. Never before had he seen a more beautiful woman from the Western world. He gave his best to capture all her beauty in the portrait, yet never fully succeeded. Nonetheless, the portrait was magnificent, and Charlotte fell for his simplicity and beautiful character. Because of him, she spontaneously decided to stay longer in India. A couple of days became weeks, and then even months. The two had fallen so deeply in love that they decided to get married according to traditional Indian rituals. Unfortunately, the time came when Charlotte had to leave again in order to complete her studies in London. Thousands of miles separated the two, but their feelings for each other never changed. They stayed in contact through letters, which they exchanged almost weekly. Naturally, the newlyweds struggled terribly with the great distance between them. Charlotte offered to buy her husband air tickets, which he refused. He had not only decided to complete his studies first, but he also set his mind on reuniting with the love of his life on his own terms. He even made her the promise that he would do anything he could to see her again. After Pradyumna had finished his studies, he took all his possessions and sold them. Unfortunately, the money he earned didn't even come close to a flight ticket. All he could afford was a cheap, used bicycle. Many would have been greatly disappointed. Some would have even given up, but not Pradyumna. Instead of allowing the difficult circumstances to stop him from seeing his beloved wife again, he decided to use what he had in order to see her again. Nothing could stop him from reuniting with her, even if that meant an exhausting bicycle ride halfway across the world. His decision was the beginning of a bicycle journey from India to the Western world. Pradyumna took all his paintings and brushes along with him to financially support his endeavor. His voyage led him through 8 countries and took more than 4 months, but eventually he arrived at Charlotte's hometown in Sweden and finally saw her again. From then on, the two never left each other's side for too long. Right, so there was the story, nice and relaxed, audiobook style. Okay, now, let me try and sing. High in the halls of the kings who are gone, Jenny would dance with her ghosts, the ones she had lost and the ones she had found, and the ones who had loved her the most, the ones who'd been gone for so very long, she couldn't remember their names. They spun her around on the damp old stones, spun away all her sorrow and pain, and she never wanted to leave, never wanted to leave, never wanted to leave, never wanted to leave. And who are you, the proud lord said, that I must bow so low? Only a cat of a different coat, that's all the truth I know. In a coat of gold, a coat of red, a lion still has claws, and mine are long and sharp, my lord, as long and sharp as yours. And so he spoke, and so he spoke, that Lord of Castamere. But now the rains weep o'er his halls, with no one there to hear. Yeah, now the rains weep o'er his halls, with not a soul to hear. Yeah, I just picked all the songs from Game of Thrones. Yay. He rode through the streets of the city, down from his hill on high. Oh, the winds and the steps and the cobble, he rode to a woman's sigh. For she was a secret treasure, she was his shame and his bliss. And a chain and a keep are nothing compared to a woman's kiss. For hands of gold are always cold, but a woman's hands are warm. For hands of gold are always cold, but a woman's hands are warm. And finally, a rap test. Let's go, my shot from Hamilton. I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. Hey, yo, I'm just slut my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. I'ma get a scholarship to King's College. I probably shouldn't brag, but dang, this maid's astonished. The problem is I got a lot of brains with no polish. I gotta holler just to be heard with every word. I drop knowledge, I'm a diamond in the rough. A shiny piece of coal, trying to reach my goal. My power of speech unimpeachable. Only 19, but my mind is older. These New York City streets get colder. I shoulder every burden, every disadvantage. I've learned to manage. I don't have a gun to branch. I walk these streets famished. The planet is as fan as spark into a flame. But damn, it's getting dark, so let me spell out the name. I am the ALEXAND. We are meant to be a colony that runs independently. And there we go. That is the microphone comparison. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I would really appreciate if you went and followed me over at twitch.tv/JollyLegend. Seeing my follower number increase would really help me get over the fact that I just spent $2,000 on this microphone, £800 on this microphone, so on and so forth. I will just be doing all these reviews, doing all these tests, and keeping the one I like the best. Hopefully, actually, I'm hoping I don't like this one the best, the Neumann U87 Ai. It is a fantastic microphone. I love it. I'm hoping I don't like it best, because it's so expensive. I can return it and get back my money. But it's so damn expensive, and if I like it, well then that's, you know, F to my wallet. Big F to the wallet. But thank you guys so much for watching. See you all later, and goodbye.